Good evening and welcome to Three Rivers Community College. And do we have a great one for you tonight? It's the Class 4 sectional game. The Farmington Knights with an opportunity to make history tonight. They will be facing the Cape Central Tigers. Cape Central, looking back to last week, had to battle their way through with the 3 seed. They were able to beat Cape Notre Dame and Sikeston. Sikeston, they were the 5-time defending champs of the district, and Cape was able to unseat them this year in a pretty good game. When you look at it, you're kind of surprised because the notes from the game, Sikeston on the night, it was pretty incredible what Cape was able to do, holding them to 1 of 10 from three-point range in the first quarter, 1 of 24 to start the game, and overall in the night, 7 of 41. 41 three-point shots taken by Sikeston on the night. So when you take a look at the number of shots that they had, could have been easily in the favor of Sikeston said. Now, talking to the coach of Cape Central after the game, he was quoted by the Southeast Missourian in saying that, that was kind of their focus going into the night, was allowing some open looks by the right players. They had a few really good shooters by Sikeston, so their main goal is to keep the ball out of their hands or at least contest the shots that they put up and leave some other guys open. And it appears to have worked, but when you've got a team like Sikeston, as I said, 5-time defending champs, shooting 7 of 41, that's something that a little bit of luck could have been on Cape Central's side that night as well. We'll hope that that's not the case tonight as they take on the Knights. Now, looking over at the other side for Farmington, Farmington received the 1 seed for the district. That seeding ended up taking place before the conference tournament, so they got lucky with that because they lost to Potosi in the tournament for the MSHSAA conference. But the other time around, Potosi was the 3 seed, so they ended up facing Central in the semifinals of districts. Central was able to beat them and face Farmington in the finals, and for a good while there in the game between those two schools, Farmington showed some lapses in defense during the first half. Central was able to get out to a 7-point lead heading into the break, but Farmington in the fourth quarter was able to hold Central scoreless for 5 minutes, and that ended up being the difference maker. A great screen set by Callahan allowed Pratt to come down into the lane. Logan England had the inbound pass. Knights went up by 6, and from there they were able to pretty easily roll to that district title. And as I said, they've got an opportunity to set school history tonight. We have never went on to sectionals and been able to go past that point. We've got a few district titles in the history, but this will be a great opportunity for these seniors, 8 of them coming into this game tonight. And for years and years now, they've been led by head coach Justin Callahan. Of course, his son Garrett Callahan playing on the team, and Garrett's one that can get hot tonight and can be a difference maker. Several nights on the floor have that ability, including DJ Hardy. Talked to DJ earlier in the day and trying to kind of gauge exactly where his nerves were coming into this game. Seemed pretty calm, cool, and collected, and overall the Knights have kind of sent that message. Talked to one of Cape's managers actually running the camera for the team, and he said that it's kind of been the same thing for Cape. It's been kind of calm, cool, and collected for them. When they were in the Class 5, they actually won a couple of recent Class 5 district championships. They were able to win in 2011 and 2012. So this isn't their first time to come to this kind of show either. It's just now they're in a lower class. And typically when you're going to move down a class, a little bit more likely to be able to pull off a win just because you're used to playing harder teams at this point in the season. We were able to see that kind of thing in 2007 with the Knights. When we finally moved down a class, we were used to playing Cape, Poplar Bluff, and Jackson. And when we moved down, we were finally able to get that title and move on to our first sectional game in several years. Fortunately, we came across Cape Notre Dame that year. The Knights were able to get past Cape Notre Dame. The Knights, however, were not. Of course, that was a year that the Knights were able to carry that all the way to a second-place finish at state. And the Knights here with an opportunity to possibly find a road to the Final Four. We'll go ahead and start off with the starting lineups, and we're going to go a little bit different than what the announcer will. He's going to alternate back and forth. We'll go ahead and just give you the starters of the two teams. And we'll go ahead and start with the away Cape Central Tigers. They're the away team because they're at the top of the bracket. We're the second district under Class 4. So we'll go ahead and start off with the Cape Central Tigers. Looking at their lineup, starting for them and leading the team in points in the game against Sykeston will be number 3, Al Young. He is only a sophomore, stands at 6 feet tall. And in their previous matchup against Farmington, he was able to score 13. So he's typically going to be one of the top scorers on the night. He will be one to watch. And as I said, only a sophomore. So he'll be one to watch next year and the year after as well. Other starters for Cape Central include 22, Jamal Cox. He's a senior, 6'7". So he'll be the big man to watch on the floor. He scored 20 points in the game against Sykeston. Another starter, number 33, Andre Staten. And Staten scored 11 points in the matchup against Sykeston. Number 10, Jaden Redden. Number 24, Mikey Jones. The 5 starters for the Cape Central Tigers. Now, flipping the sheet and heading over to Farmington. The starters for them, it's been the same all season. They're led by, as I said, a group of 8 seniors, 4 of those starting on the court. Number 24, Garrett Callahan. He scored 8 points the other night in that matchup against Central. Number 4, Logan England. Number 32, DJ Hardy. Number 20, Eli Pratt. And number 25, Jordan Ankrum. Now in that game against Central, the inside game with both Pratt and Ankrum was key all night long. During the first half, Eli Pratt actually scored 12 points. And that was a major part of the night's first half. He actually had half. It was 31-24 going into the break. So Pratt actually had half the team's points going into the break. Going to the second half, it kind of flipped on them. Ankrum only had 3 points in the first half. He ended up with 14 in the second. Pratt chimed in with 2 more himself. So Ankrum ended up leading the night with 17 points and a total of 9 rebounds. So no doubt he's a big presence inside. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to make that same kind of presence known tonight against this Cape Central team who has a couple of pretty big men inside themselves. As I said, one of those will be the 6'7" senior Jamal Cox, who scored 20 points. So the two of them, 17, 20, and there's several rebounds that will be spread across the two of them. And as you see here at midcourt, it'll be Ankrum and Cox with the jump ball. And we are almost underway. Once again, the Class 4 sectional between the Farmington Knights, Cape Central Tigers. And the tip, it goes to the Tigers. It's Statham handling the ball for the Tigers. Passes it over to Redden, back to Staten. Staten getting the play set up. Redden looking down to the call from Coach. Coach gets everything set up. Tigers are coached by Drew Church. In the books tonight, it's kind of flipped. Apparently, we are trading coaches according to the books tonight. And starting it off smoothly is number 10, Jalen Redden. He only had 1 3-point shot the entire night against Sykeston, but he gets an early one here to go up with an early 3-point lead over the Knights. England looking in, instead passes over to Callahan, back on top to England. England nearly with an open look. Instead, Callahan, he starts to pull back and gets a little bit of a shot off. It's off the front of the rim, rebounded by Ankrum. So a second chance opportunity for the Knights. Knights passing around. England with an open look from the side. It's off the glass, off the back of the rim. Knights making a third opportunity. Ankrum battling. Callahan tries to get the pass off. He's able to recover after the tip pass. It ended up being tipped by Al Young. Nice hands by the sophomore. Hardy's in his favorite spot in the corner, kind of hanging out over there, trying to get an open look. Callahan, about 3 feet outside the yard, gets it inside to Pratt, back out to Hardy, across to Callahan. Callahan, plus to England. Hardy in the corner. It's his favorite spot. Can he do it? Goes off the back of the rim. Another board by the Knights. Rebounding has been a problem at times, but not to start the night. 3 rebounds and a 4th opportunity here. Back out to Hardy again. Another open look from 3. He hits it. 2 threes to start the game tonight. 4th opportunity, and the Knights finally chime in. 5:54 on the clock. Already 2 minutes off the clock. We've got 3 points for each side. This was a battle of the student sections. Farmington would have it won pretty easily. We'll see if that can play a role. The Knights making a little bit of noise. Glad to see it. They've been quiet at times this season. Central trying to get the play set up. Knights playing great defense on the perimeter. Could be a 5-second call. Nearly got it. Finally able to get it off and get the ball across to Staten. Staten goes inside. Goes up hard. Ends up being rebounded by the Tigers. And it's Redden putting it in once again. He had the 3 to start the night and give them 5 so far. All 5 of the points from the Tigers coming from Staten. Ball being passed around by the Knights, trying to set up for an open look. The Knights have been pretty calm and getting those open looks, and you talk about a deep shot. Good grief from downtown. DJ Hardy hitting it. Give the Knights a 6-5 lead now. Hardy starts off the game. He misses his first, but he hits his next 2 at 6-5. Knights doing a great job defensively still. Charges down the lane. And it's going to be hard to stop the 6'7" senior, Jamal Cox. When you're looking at the Knights roster and you start to look across and you see that the starter on the floor, we've got 6'4" Jordan Ankrum and 6'7" guy out there. Those 3 inches could make a big difference all night long. England starting to bring the ball in, goes back out to Hardy. Hardy with the look again. He hits it! Are you kidding me? 3 of 4 to start the night, 9-7 Knights. No doubt about it, this could be huge. DJ Hardy getting hot early on. Knights working around it. It's an open look from the baseline. He sinks it in, and that'll tie it up at 9 apiece now. Redden already with a total of 7 of the 9. Ankrum battles down low, goes around, ends up being taken in by the Knights, and a little bit too much momentum there by number 10, Jalen Redden, and he's not able to stop himself, so it'll be a foul. That's actually the first foul of the game between the two, and something that producer-director tonight, Marcus Archer, is kind of motioning to me. We talked about it on the way down here. A problem that we've had at times down in the post is the pump fake. You know, Ankrum had a great opportunity there. Could have found a way to try to get Al off his feet, but instead he's able to contest the shot. Tigers coming down court hard, gets a pass over. An open look outside from Staten. He hits the 3. Excuse me, Redden with the 3, and Redden already with 2 threes after only having 1 against Sykeston. 12-9. Eli Pratt tries to bring it down, and instead it looks like it will be a foul on the Tigers, so it'll be Knights possession underneath. Knights bringing in a couple of substitutions. Callahan and Pratt coming out. Coming in for the Knights will be Barnes and Mann. England to inbound. Gets it into Barnes. There was a couple times during that game against Central that the inbounds plays were tipped. Hopefully that won't be the case tonight. Knights down 3, 2:42 left to go in the first. Down to the post to Ankrum. Ankrum back out to Mann. It's no good. Rebounded by Barnes. It's off the front of the rim. No good. He puts it back up. No good once again. So while the Knights have 9 points on the board thanks to DJ Hardy's shooting percentage not looking too beautiful to start the night. Tigers go inside. It's a look off the board and he gets it in. You have Mikey Jones, his first points on the night. And we'll see a 30-second timeout called by Farmington. So looking across right now for the stats so far, Redden already with a total of 10 points at this one. He's got 10 of the Cape Central 14 points. And so far the only one to score for the Knights, DJ Hardy, who shot 3 for 4 from 3. He had the first one that he missed in the corner. But from there, he was able to rattle off 3 in a row. He is on the bench right now, taking a little bit of a breather. Some fast, intense play between the two teams, and something that we expect to see all night from this Cape Central team. They are a very fast, athletic team, and the Knights have to look to be able to contain that all night long. If you tuned into the last game over there at Potosi, heard me talk about the song The Twist a little bit, and we're just going a few years ahead of that, but a few years ago was Soldier Boy in the house tonight. Knights passing it around the perimeter, looking inside. England looking inside to Ankrum. Ankrum battling. He pumps, puts it off the glass. It's no good. And as I said, it's going to be hard. Those 3 inches make a big difference inside. Bring it all the way down the court. And coming in hard was number 33, and that's Statham of the Tigers. Then it'll be a foul on number 21, Brett Mann. It's his first second-team foul. And it was on the floor, so it'll be Cape Central ball from the baseline. Cape Central coming out to get the play set up. Giving plenty of room. Some of the outside shooters, the one guy that you clearly don't want to give room to early on in this contest is Redden. Rebound tipped around, and it's going to be hard battle all night in the post. And Statham is able to get his first points on the night. 16-9 now. Down low to Ankrum. Ankrum trying to find a shot. Instead, passes around, goes over to Mann. Mann from the baseline. It's up, no good off the back of the rim. Rebounded by the Tigers. 2 on 3, gets the pass up. It's no good, and in the process is fouled by number 1, Jonah Barnes. So Staten will be going to the line for 2 after making his, Cox going to the line. He's got 2 on the night. This will be the first trip to the line by the Tigers. And he makes his first at 17-9. Knights making some substitutions, including Hardy, still with the only 9 points on the board for the Knights. Second one's up, no good. Rebounded by Ankrum. Slow scoring so far from the Knights. Ankrum working hard in the post, but it'll be a tough one down low for him all night. And slight delay. Looks like we had an issue with the scoreboard for a second. It flipped off and back on, so both teams will come off the court for just a second. And as we nickname him in the local area, Slick Rick, over on the side talking to the scorer's table, trying to figure out exactly what was going on and maybe resetting the clock back a couple of seconds. And in the process of this, number 3, Justin Bame, will be making his first appearance tonight. Looks like now they've set it up for 49 seconds on the clock. I'm going to guess that maybe the clock didn't start from the original inbound from the Knights. So that's why they had flashed the board for a second to send that warning to the officials to give them the heads up and let them know. So the Knights ball out of bounds, Barnes in. Callahan getting the play set up. Over to Bame. It's passing around the perimeter, trying to work and find an open shot. Bame starts to send it into the corner to Barnes, instead turns around back to Callahan. Nearly lost the ball that time. Luckily Callahan there to retrieve it. Slow offensive setup for the Knights. Callahan, an open look from the side. It's in. And that'll pull the Knights within 5 now. That's the first time that anyone scored outside of Hardy, though. But it's all been threes tonight. 4 threes to start the night for the Knights. Deep 3 this time from number 33 of the Tigers, and that will end the first period. Statham trying to chime in there with the 3 Cape Central only with 2 threes, but they battled down low, and the 2 big men can give them a little bit of credit for working that inside. Statham already with 2 on the board from the inside. He went to the line, and he was able to make 1 of the 2. And at the end of the first quarter, 17-12 the score. So Knights with a fast start from 3, but it's kind of slowed down from there. They haven't been able to hit the inside shots, and it's something that we'll probably see all night long. It'll be very, very tough for the Knights to be able to pull this off. Now, looking back earlier in the season, back December 20th, going back to nearly the beginning of the season, the Cape Central Tigers at the time were 0-4, and the Knights ended up giving them their first victory by the score of 54-42. So 12-point difference. That was at Cape. And we're hoping tonight that maybe the neutral court will slide that slider a little bit down and be that kind of neutral difference maker. So the Knights will be able to contend a little bit more tonight. Now looking at common opponents between the 2, and within a week of each other, the 2 teams played Cape Notre Dame. Cape Central was able to win by the score of 64-59, 5-point win for them. Knights lost by 8, so you calculated out 13-point difference between the 2 schools, 12-point difference in their matchups, so very similar when you're looking at it that way. Once again, hopefully it won't be that way as the game progresses tonight. We're underway here in the second. Once again, 17-12, 7:28 on the clock now. Knights working it around the perimeter once again, really trying to find that open shot. They've been able to take advantage of it 4 times tonight. Hopefully we can make it a 5th and back to a 1-possession game. Cape Central doing a good job, and the Knights trying to set up the play that's worked several times. Barnes tried to come over to the base. He ends up getting a shot off. It's no good off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Mann. Great job by Brett Mann. He gets a shot from the baseline and will be fouled in the process. Questionable shot to say the least. He got lucky on that one. The foul on number 22, Jamal Cox. And that's Tiger foul number 3 already in this one. 6:58 on the clock. Mann's first is up and in. And at that 17-13, a chance to make it a 1-possession on this next free throw from the 6th man, number 21, Brett Mann. Brett's second one up and in, and make it a 1-point possession now. They're only down by a tray. They've hit 4 of them. And the Tigers set the inbound. Tigers coming into this one at 17-10 compared to the Knights 19-9, so very similar records between the 2 teams. Capable, of course, playing some tough competition down here in southeast Missouri. You've got a bunch of small schools that make state trips all the time. And a pump fake, charges inside, gets the shot up and in. And no doubt that height giving the Knights some fits here early on. 6'6". And right now we do have Nagel and Pratt out on the court. Those are the 2 tallest guys. So between the 2 of them, Nagel at 6'4", Pratt listed at 6'3". So got a couple of inches. And on the other side with number 22, Jamal Cox, he's actually got at least 3 inches on Nagel. Knights passing around, trying to look for the open shot. Pratt tries to go in, instead ends up getting the ball stolen away. Redden able to make the steal. And going hard down court was number 3, Justin Bain, trying to throw that one back in. Nagel and Bain coming out for the Knights. It'll be England and Ankrum coming back in. 14-19 the score, and it'll be a travel down low. So the Knights will try to pull it back within 1 possession on this drive. Logan England all season long has been able to pull off some pretty fancy moves. We haven't seen it yet tonight, but not much of a fancier dribbler in the MSHSAA conference area. And looking in southeast Missouri, he ended up getting all district honors last week. So he's definitely someone to watch as the night continues to go on. And you won't see it afterwards in the books necessarily, but he's the one that is able to set up a lot of the Knights' opportunities from night to night. Looking down low. Gets the passing around and outside. It's number 33 that rebounds, tipped around. And Cape Central's able to recover. Statham taking a couple of shots from three. And instead coming down inside will be Al Young. And as I've said in the previous matchup against the Knights, he was the leading scorer. Last week against Sykeston, he was leading scorer. That's his first 2 points to the night. So the Knights doing a good job defensively against him at least. Pratt trying to work it off. Instead, gets it off the side of the backboard. He recovers it. Jonah Barnes open from three. It's no good. Off the rim, gets his own rebound. So Knights back-to-back getting their own rebounds. And the Knights tonight so far out-rebounding the Tigers. Ankrum goes down, gets an awkward shot off. It's tipped around, rebounded by the Knights again. Callahan with the ball. Ankrum, turnaround jumper, it's up and in. So Ankrum with his first set of points on the night, make it 21-16. Knights only down by 5. DJ Hardy about ready to come back in. As I've said many times, he's got 9 points tonight. And a good foul that time by Jordan Ankrum. Had the wide open layup. And Wilcox was going to have an easy 2, but instead he's going to go to the line and try to still get the 2. So it's a good foul by Ankrum. It's his first, only the third Knights foul. 4 minutes left to go here in the half. Cox's first is up and in.
Returning for the Knights, number 32.
It's only the third free throw by the Tigers so far in this one. They're 2 of 3. They shot 14 of 23 in their game against Sykeston. Second one's up, it's no good, and it's nearly rebounded. Surprising that an over-the-back call wasn't made. Those of you that just saw the video, go ahead and click back, watch it back on YouTube, and his arms were all over Ankrum, no doubt about it. Shots up, no good off the front of the rim. And the Tigers coming fast down court, but they're going to pay for it. Ankrum with the ball, gets the pass down to Pratt. Pratt puts it off the board and in. Eli Pratt finally getting in the books. So the 2 men that scored plenty of points for the Knights last time around, a combined 4 of the 18. Knights down by 4 right now, 22-18. 3:15 on the clock. Statham with the ball for the Tigers. And an illegal screen is the call on number 3, Al Young. And Al not having his greatest game so far. As I said, 25 points in his last game, only 2, and now the foul. It's the 4th Tigers foul. And the Knights making a couple more substitutions out on the court. Right now for the Knights, England, Hardy, Callahan, Mann, and Pratt. Callahan looking inside, getting the place set up. Pulls Mann back out on top. Mann looking around, gets the pass over to Hardy. Hardy on the side. Gets the pass down to Mann. Mann starts to make a move. And the block call is going to be the call. And looks like it was number 23, Chase Haggerty, ends up getting tripped up on his own feet, falls back, and Mann able to take advantage of it. It's the 5th Tiger foul. Inbound to Hardy, over to Callahan. Callahan starts to take it down instead. Back out to Hardy. Hardy from 3, it's good! Calm, cool, collected is what I described him as at the beginning of the broadcast tonight, and we're seeing it time and time again. Make it 4 from 3 by DJ Hardy. He is the reason that the Knights are in this one right now. 22-21, rebounded by Callahan. The Knights with an opportunity to take the lead. Over to Mann, back out on top to England and across to Callahan. The Knights passing around the ball. Callahan nearly had the open look, starts to look back, see if he has it again. Mann with the ball back out to Callahan. Picks up by Mann. Callahan looking down low to Pratt. Pratt working around, trying to get the shot instead, back out to England. 1:52 on the clock. Callahan an open look and give it to them. Are you kidding me? 24-22, the Knights take the lead on their 6th three-point shot of the night. Knights doing a great job defensively, contested, and ends up back in the hands of Hardy. You want to talk about a crazy crowd. Get these Knights fans riled up. Love to see it tonight. Callahan inside to man. Man working down low. Nearly gets the ball tipped out of his hands and set back out to Callahan. Knights doing a great job of protecting the ball. England with an open look. It's off the back of the rim. No good. And looks like the foul is going to be called on 21, Brett Mann. Mann can't believe it, and a bunch of the Farmington section can't either. And I might not disagree with the Farmington fans at that point. When you look at it, I'm not sure if maybe there was a slight push. Slick Rick saw something though, and as I said a second ago, you know, we don't have the ability to show you a quick instant replay and dissect that down. To go ahead and click back on the YouTube, view it again, and you go ahead and tell us what happened. 1 minute on the clock now. Knights with the 2-point lead, and the Tigers could pass around and try to hold on to it for the last shot. We'll see. Instead, takes it down hard, and it'll be the charge call. A great job by number 25, Jordan Ankrum, coming down low to take the charge. The Knights right now playing some of the greatest basketball here in the past few minutes that I've seen from them all season long. Statham with his second foul. And no doubt if he starts racking up the fouls, that will be one of the Tigers to watch as the night progresses. England with the ball, 40 seconds on the clock. Knights have been careful with the ball all night, been very, very smart. Callahan with the ball, gets it down to Ankrum. Ankrum looking inside, battling around. And down low is Barnes, and set over into the corner for Callahan. Callahan brings it over to the lane, out to Barnes. 20 seconds on the clock. Knights holding on to it and doing a great job of it as well. They've had a couple of opportunities where you might have seen the shot taken and said the Knights hold on to it. Play the smart basketball. 9 seconds on the clock. England with some great moves. Gets it over to Ankrum. Ankrum pump fakes. Puts it up. It's no good and off the back of the backboard. So Ankrum did a great job that time pump faking, something that we talked about a second ago, but unfortunately when he went to put it up, went a little bit too strong. I think he was hoping for the foul, and the Tigers were going to have a last second shot. It's up, it's no good. So through 2 quarters of play, you see the Knights fans standing up. I'll join them. It's 24-22. A great half of basketball by the Farmington Knights. When we come back from the break, I'll go ahead and go over the stats, and we'll see who the leading scorer is between the two teams. And we'll really take a look at a great first half, and especially a great second quarter by these Farmington Knights. Thank you for watching. Aaron Murray right now here on FHS Night Vision. We'll be right back after the break.